Hi there dev noobs and welcome to the third episode of CSS Battle series. We are logged in at CSS Battle dev and ready to tackle the last 4 challenges from the first battle. We are trying to achieve a 100% match, not to finish the challenge with the best score. Let's get into it. The first challenge of the day is called Tesseract. From the look of it, it is going to be quite a challenge and we have definitely moved into more advanced challenges by now. But as usual, the first thing to do is to set the background color for the body. We see that all of the elements seem to be centered both horizontally and vertically, so this sounds like a job for Flex Display and its properties align items and justify content. We will need some divs to represent the geometric shapes. We will need one for the rectangle, two for the squares and one for the circle. Okay. Each div is a child of the previous one. Circle is the innermost child and the rectangle is the outermost parent. We could use only one square and give it a border, but that caused me issues with the rendering, which I did not like, so I went this way of extra div. We need to style large rectangle with ID R. It takes 100% of width and 50% of height. The only other parameter to specify is background color. Okay, so 100% width and height is going to be 50%. And the background is going to be this new color. Okay. Progress is being done. First square is rotated 45 degrees. The second square is inside the first one, so it does not need the transform property. So I'm going to magically guess the dimensions of the outer square and use the background color, and now we need to transform it actually, so it's rotated 45 degrees. Sorry for the noise in the background. And the smaller rectangle is going to be 150 50 pixels, and the background color is going to be the blue one. Okay, looks good. Right, last thing is to define a circle and we are all set. So the dimensions of the circle are going to be width 50 and height 50 pixels as well. Background is going to be this slightly different grayish color. And the last thing that we need to specify is the border radius of 50%. Okay, the solution looks to be identical. Let's submit it. And that's it. Solution complete. The 100% match is ours. Second challenge of the day is called Cloaked Spirits. Let's delete everything. We are going to need more divs in this one by the look of it. But other than that, it does not look that difficult. Let's begin. First things first, let's set body styles. We will need 3 divs to represent the 3 yellow rectangles. Then we will need 3 circles on top of those rectangles. All in all, 6 divs. So we will have 3 rectangles and 3 circles. That's what the classes are for. And now we will have rectangle number 1, rectangle number 2, and rectangle number 3, and the same with circles. Okay. I gave the rectangle divs class R for common properties and individual IDs R1, R2, and R3 to specify position. I did the same with the circles, only I called the class C and IDs are C1, C2 and C3. So what are the common properties of rectangles? It is width, background color and type of position with position at bottom. For 2 out of 3 of them, it is also height. We can override the height of the third in the ID style. Okay, so width is going to be 100 pixels. Height for the moment for all of them will be 100 as well. And we are going to give it this background color. Okay, now we need to position them absolutely and to put them at the bottom. Now we need to specify position from the left and in case of the middle one also different height using ID. Let's do that. Left 50 pixels. Hmm. 150, and also height is going to be more. Okay, and the third one is going to be left 250 pixels. Yeah, okay, looks good. Actually it looks great. Now we repeat the steps, but this time for circles, common properties first. So the width of the circle is going to be 60 pixels and the height is going to be 60 pixels as well. That is because the border will be 20 pixels, so it will be in total 100 pixels width and height. But we will get to that a bit later. So let's use this background color as a common one. Let's specify the position to be absolute and put it at 50 pixels from the bottom. Okay, now we also need border radius to be 50%, so it's actually the square. And we need to specify border to be 20 pixels, solid, and the color will be this. Wonderful. We give circles the color of background, border, dimensions, and default position from the bottom. Now we need to finish it with a specific setup for each individual circle. So we are going to use IDs now. We are going to target, the first one will be 50% to the left. The second one will be a little bit more complex than that, because we have to actually change more of the styles. It's going to be a little bit higher, and the background will be actually something different. It's going to be this. And the border is going to be, you know what, actually we only need to change the border color. So let's only do that. Yay. That's what we need. Okay, so now only the last one, which is C3, and that will be that, I think it's 250 pixels, right? Yep, looks like that. All that is left is to check now whether the match is 100% or not. From the looks of it, it should be, but let's see. And it is a total match. Great. Let's move on to challenge numero 11. I think I don't need to tell you at this point what is going on next. Yes, set the body style. We will add a flex display setup for centering everything to the mix. So that's the background. Let's put display flex there as well. Okay, looks good. The HTML setup will be a little mess, so please pay close attention to what I'm explaining. We will need a middle circle with ID MC that will be the parent of everything. This div will have three children with IDs C as circle, LR as left rectangle, and RR as right rectangle. Each rectangle divs will have its own child with IDs LC as left circle and RC as right circle, respectively. Why do we need rectangles, you ask? Well, we need to cut the left and right circle in half, and the easiest thing to do is to put them into a parent with overflow hidden. So that is the reason. right circle there as well, and the closing div tag is everything that is missing. Okay, first div to style is obviously the middle circle, so let's do that. Width. Again, terribly sorry for the distraction in the background. My son is having fun playtime. Okay, let's specify 50% radius, so it's actually the circle. Border is going to be this one. Okay. And we need to specify the position relative for the future so we can center other things inside or around it rather. Display flex, so we can center the red inner circle. Align items, center, justify content, center. Okay. We set its dimensions, borders radius, size, type and color, and we give it a flex display so all its children are also centered properly. Next thing to style is the middle red circle. So we need the background color, which is going to be this red-ish. And now we need position. Do we actually need the position? Let's try it just like this. Width, height. Yeah, we actually don't need the position. For the radius, 50%. Yep, that's it. It is already centered by default, so we just give it size, shape and color. Easy job. But now comes the tricky part. We need to style and position the left and right rectangle that will hold our half circles. Let's give it some color for the moment so we can actually see it. Okay, and overflow hidden. Okay, it looks to be in the place where we need our half circle, so that's good. Let's do the same thing for the right rectangle, and because I'm lazy I will just overwrite it and just change these values. It's going to be right. Width, height is the same. Okay, looks promising. Okay, so I gave them temporary red background so we know where they are. We position them absolutely, and because their parent middle circle has position relative, they will be positioned absolutely to their immediate parent. The positioning is just a guessing number game that I will not play now, but believe me, I had my share of fun with it. Now, the time has come to specify the last two divs, left and right circle. Again, it is not going to be anything difficult. We specify the border radius, we guess the size and position. So position absolute, bottom is going to be 0, left is going to be 0, and the border is going to be 20 pixels, so pixels, sorry, solid, and the color should be this. And we have a typo. Okay. Okay, that's progress. Now we can delete the red color for the background. One last touch is to set position to top 0 for the right circle, so we get the arch that we want. Other than that, we are done. Okay. Submit. 100% match. We are happy. The last challenge of this battle is quite deceitful. It does not look like it will be difficult, but arguably it is the most difficult challenge of this battle. Don't believe me? You'll see soon. You know what first, right? The structure will be rather large, so first things first, let's define the structure for the 3 half circles. So we will have 3 of these, but this will be B because it's going to be a different arch. Okay, looks good. We will have 3 rectangles, divs with class R, and each of them will have a semicircle. The first and third will be the same orientation, divs with class A. The second will be opposite to them, div with class B. Now let's specify class R. It's going to be a width of 100 pixels, height of 50 pixels, and it's going to be positioned absolutely, and overflow will be hidden. Background color will be this for the moment. Okay, now R1 is going to be left 70 pixels and top will be 150 pixels. We are going to copy this because we don't want to type so much. Left 150 pixels, and this will be 230 pixels and 150, but this is R3. Alright, these need to be IDs actually, not classes. And here needs to be the closing quote. Okay, this looks better. I temporarily gave the divs background color to see where we have our rectangles. Then I positioned each of them to their correct place using their IDs. We need to remove the background color now and add styling to the A and B classes that actually create semicircles. We use the same approach as we used in the previous challenge. So it is going to be this, height is going to be this, position is again absolute, bottom 0, border radius is going to be 50%, and let's do also box sizing, so the dimension of 100 pixel is final one. And give it a border of this red or orangey rather color. Okay, and now we just need to give a small notch to the B class. Now we see that we are missing rounded corners at the beginning and at the end of the mustache shape, I guess. We can fix that by adding two new divs into the HTML structure. They will have IDs C1 and C2. We have to style them accordingly and position them at the correct place. Nothing we couldn't handle at this point. A little bit of dimensions, a few position placements and some radius styles, and we are done. So let's do it. So C1 and C2 will have common attributes, which is width is going to be 20 pixels, because that's the width of the border. Height as well. Background color is going to be this. Okay, position is going to be absolute. Let's position it based on the first one. Okay, and now we need just the border radius of 50%. Okay, left one looks good. Now we just need to bump the right one a little to the right, like this. The only thing to check now is whether the match is 100%. And it is. So you know what this means. We are officially done with the first battle. 3 parts, 12 challenges. Good job everybody. I hope you liked this first battle and that we will meet together in the next episode starting the battle number 2 next Saturday. Until then, my fellow noobs.